Okay, it's the second time I'm filming this. I did a boo-boo yesterday. If you follow me on Snapchat, you already know I did this boo-boo. I went and deleted one of the files off my SD card before I was able to transfer it. Never done this before, so paying for it now because today I really don't want to film a video. It's the third day of filming things, and I was hoping that Sunday would be a nice relaxing day where I can just maybe read a book, go for a walk, or do something else, but I am refilming a video. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chagnon, and today I am filming the how I did my makeup in high school tag video fun thing. A little tidbit of information: in high school, I was not too adventurous in the makeup realm. I didn't know that much. There was no YouTube, so I didn't know how to use a lot of makeup, but I did use makeup. I started using makeup in grade 7, and the makeup that I used was primarily concealer and face powder because I had acne, and I was very self-conscious of my skin because of the acne. My acne pretty much was on my forehead. On my forehead I had very tiny small pimples, and they just littered my entire forehead. Not hugely noticeable, but I mean, putting your fingers on your forehead myself, I can feel the bumps, and henceforth I felt very conscious of them. Also, my acne, the bad acne as I like to call it, was around my nose. I would get cystic acne around and on my nose. So in high school I had acne, I was self-conscious about it, so I turned to makeup to kind of mask that and just make myself feel a little better about myself. So that's, I guess, a bit of my acne story. I don't know how I got rid of the acne. It was a combination of learning to properly wash my face, being on the pill, learning that stress was a giant factor in my breakouts. But that is way tangenting out of the scope of this video. If you want to hear, I guess, my full acne story, then leave a comment down below and I will make that happen for you. But for now, let's get in with the high school makeup. In high school, I primarily used CoverGirl cosmetics, and from that brand, I really concentrated on concealers and face powders. I never picked up a foundation, I never picked up BB creams, I didn't know those were things. I only actually picked up my first foundation about a year ago. So I'm very new to the entire makeup realm of things. Like in high school, I stuck with concealer and face powder. That's all I used. And in grade 7, that's all I used. I started adding things to my makeup routine a little farther into high school, and I will actually cover everything. So there's there's evolutions in my high school makeup, and I'm just gonna go through all of it today. So in grade 7, I used concealer. This one specifically, this is a CoverGirl concealer. It is the, I actually have the card here, I kept it. It's the CG Smoothers concealer stick. I bought right here light. I was probably one of the only girls who understood that you had to match your concealer or face powder to your actual skin tone. And I think that was because I was so self-conscious about, well, I mean, anyone who starts off with makeup and is self-conscious about their skin and their acne will gravitate towards skin-like products like this. But I think the difference with me is I understood that if you wanted it not to be visible, it really had to be as close to your skin color as possible. And I just didn't want any like neon signs like pointing to like my problematic areas on my face. So I knew to match the concealer and the face powder to my skin tone, and I agonized over which ones to get, which colors to get. And I would spend a good 30 to 40 minutes in front of the CoverGirl section at my drugstore, just looking between two different concealers, two different shades of concealers, and I'd be asking my mom which one's closest to my skin. I don't want to have it too orange, I don't want it too pale, I don't want people to see that I have the makeup on, I just want it to look like my skin. I did not like using this in high school. I find it was like crappy, and it really didn't cover the acne as well as I wanted it to, but I didn't know of anything else that I can use, so I kind of stuck with it and I made it work. So I used to It's a lot of jibber jabber. I'm very sorry for all the jibber jabber, but I feel like I need to tell you all these things. So I had most of my acne on my forehead, so I would actually just wipe this on like that. I would just pretty much cover my entire forehead with this stuff. And I wouldn't blend it in right away. I would actually cover all my problem areas first, then blend everything in. So I would also go down my nose, around my nose. I always had a pimple right here, so I would always just cover that section with concealer. And then over here, and most of the time I had another pimple on that. My nose was just riddled with pimples. And then usually I had some stuff around my jaw here, but not usually. Nowadays I do. And that's what I would do for the concealer. I would put it on my problem areas and then I would blend it in. And I'm stressing how I would do this because there was one time I was going to my grandparents' house for dinner with my family. My whole family was there. So I was doing my makeup in the bathroom. I was doing my concealer. I put it on in all the spots that I needed to put it on in. And then I went to blend it out. But I accidentally forgot to blend out one spot. I think it was like right here. I forgot to blend out a spot on my chin. So I went to dinner, and thank goodness it was with my family, because family is a little more understanding than total strangers or kids at school. So I went to dinner with my family, and I went to the bathroom, and I looked in the mirror as I was washing my hands, and I saw like my eyes zoomed in so fast on that one spot of concealer that was not blended in, and I felt so mortified. I was absolutely like, oh my God, how could I have not have noticed that? I looked at myself like 1,000 times before I left the house to make sure everything looked good. And I somehow managed to not see that. To this day, I don't know how I managed that. So yes, that's how I put on my concealer, and as you can see, some backlash did come from it. The next product that I would use was a face powder, again from CoverGirl. It was this exact compact. The packaging's a little different than it was when I was using it back in high school, but it's the exact same thing. It would match my skin tone as closely as possible. So for face powder, I would just pack it on and pretty much rub it all over my face in circular motions. I would put it everywhere. I would always start at the forehead and kind of work down, but I would try to use as little as possible at the same time because, I don't know, I thought that less was more. And I thought that if you put on less product, it would be less likely that it could be noticed by somebody else. So I try to use as little as possible. And oh goodness, this face powder still smells the exact same way as when it did in high school. God, this brings me back. So for grade 7, this is pretty much what I would do for my makeup. I would put the concealer stick on and the face powder, and I would call it a day. Grade 8 was when I got into other makeup. And that's primarily because of my best friend in high school. She literally dragged me into the girls' bathroom one morning and gave me her eyeliner, her black eyeliner, and she told me to put it on. And she kept telling me that black eyeliner would look really good on me. So I started wearing black eyeliner. This one. This was the first eyeliner I got. This is not the first eyeliner I got. It's the same brand though. It's Annabelle. It's a kohl black eyeliner. I really like it. I've been buying it since high school, and it's very black. It's very easy to go on the waterline. So I would put it onto my waterline. And I would put it on my waterline like that, and I would actually carry this around in my backpack because this eyeliner does not stay. I would literally get to school, and after all the blinking that I would do in the morning, the eyeliner would have traveled down into my lash line and darkened that up. So by lunchtime, it was gone. So I would always reapply probably around lunchtime or something. So after the eyeliner, I think the next thing I got really into was blushes. And I used to go through my mom's makeup bag and just pull out a whole bunch of makeup that she had, and I would look at it, I would swatch it, I would smell it, I would see what it looked like. I would read the backs with like the names of them. If they had instructions, I would read the instructions. And I found a blush in her makeup bag and I was like, oh, I can wear blush too. So that's what I did today. I pulled out a blush from my mom's makeup. And this is a Personnel blush, and it's natural. That's what it says. I wanted everything to be low key. I don't want to draw attention to my skin in high school, so the most neutral makeup for me was the most ideal, so a natural looking blush was great. So I would grab like pretty much any blush that was in my mom's makeup bag that was neutral enough for me, and I would just put it on. So I would put it on with this. I had this exact same blush brush when I was in high school. It was a Personnel one, and it's like a retractable. It is the worst possible blush brush because look at that. That is like the smallest coverage ever. So you can pretty much put it on and it's like this dot of pink. But yeah. So I would load up the brush, tap it, and then I would just kind of stab it into the apples of my cheeks. I wouldn't blend it out or anything, but I wouldn't like overly put it on. I mean, that's kind of cute, right? Right? And if I found I put it on too heavily, I would take my hands and just pretty much do that. I would rub it out. I also used to wear a little bit of eyeshadow in high school. Nothing too noticeable again, but I would also go into my mom's makeup bag, like the blush, and just pick out whatever neutral eyeshadow she had. My mom also kind of set me up for success because she got me an eyeshadow brush, and she also had brushes herself, and she told me to use them instead of like the little applicator things that they would come with. So I was using brushes quite a bit for eyeshadow when I was in high school. So I'm going to use this to apply this shadow to my eyelid. Done, and the last thing that I would wear was lip gloss. I was asking my mom earlier if I wore anything in high school on my lips, and she said that I probably wore lip gloss. She couldn't remember, I couldn't remember, but she's probably right. But yeah, I'm just gonna put that on now. So this is my high school makeup. Let me know what you think down below. Do you like it? Do you think it's very different than what I do nowadays? I don't think it's that different. I think it's very similar. What have I learned with all the YouTube videos that I've made and all the YouTube videos that I've watched? Don't think that much. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Also, let me know what you guys used to do for your makeup in high school. I'd love to know about it. I'd love to see. High school is like, I think, an experimental age where makeup is concerned, and I skipped that entirely. I'm getting to that phase now, I feel. So let me know what you guys did for your makeup in high school. I really would like to know. And as always, my name is Chagnon, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye!